Hi, welcome. In this video, I like to discuss the dynamic of when a dog owner makes a statement in relation to how her dog responds better, okay, for their spouse, and in the middle of, again, a relationship problem where the dog is really not listening and acting out in various ways in the relationship. And again, with the dog owner say, well, when it comes to my spouse, the dog seems to listen or pay attention a lot better at times. And what I really challenge people regarding that statement, because really it's really, and again, I use my example, okay, in terms of my selfish child example, and it's really very similar. Is what I encourage people to think about is the fact that, again, based on appearances, based on how it is that a dog, based on, again, gaining control in the relationship, in, again, the context of the environment the dog's in, okay, the options the dog has in terms of responding, okay, is that, well, dogs will know, okay, they will sense, okay, this person is, my options are limited, so I'm going to respond in that moment to that individual because I'm kind of in this and it's true, they have limited options, okay, in terms of how kind of conflict will happen, but they'll respond in that moment based on the individual's really saying, basically, you better do what I'm telling you or there's going to be a problem. And it's not so much the person is overly threatening, but here's the thing, is the dog's saying, okay, sure, I'll respond, but I'm still in control, because nothing's changed in the relationship. This person is there in front of me, and my options are limited. It's like a fight or flight type of scenario where they will respond, and it'll give the impression as if that spouse has authority or has control over the dog, but at a level they really don't. Okay, just understand this issue about response, about relationship, about how you're perceived by the dog, and how a dog will respond in a certain circumstance or a moment, which will lead people into, even the other spouses, to assume that, okay, well, I don't have any control at all, but it seems like when my spouse comes home or whatever's going on in the moment, the dog is listening to them. Well, not really. Okay, that's my kind of response. Not really at all. Not the way that we tend to think. Because here's the thing, is you have to take the whole picture. You have to kind of really get a kind of three-dimensional view of the relationship to really understand what that represents. It's not the type of influence or control or relationship with that person that you really think it is. It'd be no different than a selfish child who's really disrespectful and out of control, but there could be moments where that parent is really flamed up, and the child perhaps is responding, but it's nowhere's that response, that level of response is nowhere's, doesn't really represent that child is good at all, or that parent, that particular parent has any sort of level of control, or they're perceived the way that they think in that moment. It's just because of that, the dynamic of that moment, it offers up a certain appearance, but it's not, it doesn't, it's not representative of good things really happening, okay, that the relationship is really on course at all through that response. Okay, it just means that person, again, has limited options, and they're not going to enter into direct conflict that way because they're not able to in that moment, but you're still faded out. Okay, that child has no respect at all. But again, sometimes moments will happen which will lead us into certain assumptions, which aren't really, it's not really the case. And same holds true with the dog. Dog could appear to be better behaved for a certain spouse, and they're really not. Okay, it's just that moment itself leads into that assumption, but it's not, it's not representative of truly where that spouse is seen. And because here's the thing, is that spouse if they take a hold of the dog on the leash and interact with the dog in the specific ways I show, you'll see the conflict come. You'll see that conflict rise way up into, you'll see it on display big time. But off leash, given certain circumstance, what's happening, it's just appearances. It's just leading people into this false sense that you have level of control that you really don't have. Thanks for watching.